Hello and welcome to Board Game Gumbo. Today we're unboxing the Beast and Bronze expansion from Rise of Tribes' newest Kickstarter, as well as the solo expansion and some few additional promos that we got with the Kickstarter. So if you've never played Rise of Tribes before, it's 2 to 4 players from Breaking Games, and it's a civilization style game, so there's quite a few different things you can do. There's area control is a large part of the game, where you'll be moving your citizens to different tiles which are laid out on the board. And that's what these promos are. These are just extra tiles that you can use while playing. So this Mesa tile has special rules aligned with it. And I believe all of these promos were available from their first Kickstarter, and I may actually already have them, but I went ahead and got an extra copy as well. This is just some more that give you 3 new areas to play with. So you're going to be creating a board of these different tiles, and then on your turn, you'll be taking one of the actions in the game. And those actions can be things like putting more people on the board, harvesting from the tiles that you currently control. You can even do things like build villages and research new technologies that only you have access to. So it's very much a civilization style game. It plays 2 to 4 players in about 30 to 60 minutes. But this new expansion, which was available in the latest Kickstarter offering, adds both a solo mode as well as a new tribe to the game. So now that game can be played in 1 to 4 players. So let's go ahead and take a look at this solo mode here. So there's a board here for the solo mode. This is the side you would play with if you just want to include this as another tribe. And this is what all the tribe boards look like. There are several different tribes. The main difference between them is what it takes for them to build a village, which we'll see down here. This one takes 4 wood, 1 stone, and 1 fish. And then typically you'll play with special powers that you don't have to. It's actually an advanced rule, but we usually play with them. And then on this side, this is where the side you would play if you're playing the solo mode. And this just tells you what action that the AI is going to take on its turn. We also have a rule book specifically for the solo rules. And then we have all the other pieces that are necessary for this tribe. So here is the tribal powers. So at the start of a game, if you're not playing solo mode, you'll decide what tribe you're playing, and then you'll be handed one of these cards. And these cards are double-sided, and you'll essentially just decide what power you want to use for that gameplay. And that'll be what will go up here in the top right. And then for the rest of the game, you'll have that special power. We have some cards here. So again, these are part of the solo mode. So these look like objectives it seems that the AI is trying to complete. We have some punchboard. This is just to mark the different areas on the board, sort of like a priority system for the AI. That all punches out really nicely. And then finally, we have some additional cards here. And these look like new events, actually, that we get shuffled into the event deck. Maybe this is only to be used when playing solo. I'm not entirely certain, but I do like the artwork on the back. So that's what comes in the solo mode. Let's go and take a look at what's in the expansion itself. Now you will need the base game in order to use this expansion. It is not a standalone game. See, it adds creatures, of course, because it's called Beast and Bronze. The other thing it adds are these Bronze Age technology cards, which is an entirely new way to win the game. In the base game, you're essentially just running It's a race for victory points. I think it's the first to 7 victory points. But if you include the bronze expansion out of here, and you can include both, but if you include the bronze expansion, you will get these cards each time you build a village, and these cards will ask you to do certain tasks. When you complete all of the tasks on the card, it will flip over and you'll get a special power for the rest of the game. Additionally, when you complete 3 tasks, you will automatically win. So here are our new meeples for our beast expansion. We've got a rhinoceros, saber-toothed tiger, perhaps a second one, or a wolf, more likely. A bear, and then an elephant. Now, some of these, I believe, were already in the base game. I believe the saber-toothed tiger was, if not in the base game, one of the expansions that was available in the original Kickstarter. But now, you know, if you get this expansion, you have it available without having to track down those Kickstarter exclusives. So then we have our Bronze Age cards here. So building villages is typically something you want to do in the game anyway, because they give you victory points at the start of your turn. Now, opponents can destroy them, so they're kind of a risk. You have to defend them. But now, whenever you build a village, you'll also get one of these cards, and it'll have the objectives that you need to accomplish. So for instance, be on 3 edge hexes. I assume that means essentially be surrounding an edge. This one likely deals with putting people on the board. And then you have 3 wood here. And then if you complete all 3 of those, you'll flip the card over. And then at the start of your turn, you may pay a resource to this card to make that resource type wild. And there are 3 different types. So there are trade routes, metallurgy, and writing cards. Take a look at the writing cards, just in terms of what they give you. The start of the turn, choose a second leader card and select the side you want to play. The leader cards being those special powers. So essentially you get another special power for the rest of the game. And then this, I believe, replaces the original event deck, or it may just add to it. So there are events that will come out as you play, and sometimes they're good things. They may be things like if you harvest wood during that round, you get extra wood. And sometimes they're bad things like, you know, a volcano shows up or something like that. So I believe that these replace the original events. And these are tiles. They are not cards, so they are a little bit thicker, as you can see. And you'll shuffle these up, and then every round you'll essentially draw a new one. So this one, upstream migration. Okay, so this one is in the base game. What you do during your turn is you roll 2 dice, and then you assign those 2 dice to 2 actions you want to take. But when you assign dice, you're actually moving a chain of dice sort of off the board. So there's 2 dice already there. You're going to add a 3rd one to the left, pushing the rightmost one off the board. When this event comes out, you actually do that in the opposite. So now you're putting your die to the right and pushing the leftmost die off the board, which could change certain things. So this one had a crocodile. So now there are crocodiles in river locations or lake hexes. This one puts out the Auric, which is what I mistook for a rhino. So that's an Auric. And these creatures, now that they are on the board, whenever you have, for instance, the Auric on the board, it will move around as far as I understand, and you can interact with it in interesting ways. The mammoth, for instance, is in the, I believe, one of those special expansions along with the saber-toothed tiger, but one of the things you can do is you can go and hunt it, and it'll actually produce food for you if you're able to defeat it. But that's everything that's in the Beast and Bronze expansion, as well as the solo expansion and a few additional promo things. The last thing I will mention is that This box and this organizer is designed to fit into the base game box. So you don't have to find a new storage area and you don't have to lug around multiple boxes. And that's it for this unboxing.